Hello and welcome, folks, to another exciting edition of Michigan Panthers podcast. For the people, and you best watch out because
you're in the jungle now, baby.
I'm your host, FBI Tugboat.
You ever made out with a tugboat?
And it was a fantastic week of UFL. Michigan Panthers taking the W. Let's get on into it. Bang. Taking a look at Week 6. Yes, very low-scoring affair between the Arlington Renegades and the St. Louis Battlehawks. Battlehawks beat them by touchdown by 6 points right there. Memphis Showboats, a nail-biter right here. Yes, still looking for that second win. Memphis Showboats cannot find it, unfortunately. Found it, a few weeks ago against the Stallions. Double overtime. Fantastic stuff. Couldn't quite get it done against the Houston Roughnecks. Perhaps the Houston Roughnecks not as dog water as I've been screaming about them being all last year and then most of this year, let's be honest. Bang! 38-14. Biggest difference between two teams of this week. And then, unfortunately, San Antonio Brahmas put up 3 via field goal in the second period right there. Don't get it done outside of that. We're here for the Michigan Panthers. What is that? Michigan Panthers. Let's take a look at it and break down this game a little bit. Michigan wins, proves a 4-2. Fantastic stuff, and I'm very excited about this because DC overall might be the best team in the league. Like, I talked a lot about parity last week, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is also exactly what happens when Bryce Perkins gets consistent reps and has experience with that squad going forth and leading the squad consistently week to week. Same team generally. Obviously, some injuries. We'll talk a little bit about that. Once again, folks, every single team is a single head coach stepping down or a QB1 injury away from being an actual championship contender. McClendon coming in for the Houston Roughnecks. They pretty much have to win this. Week. Week 7, yeah, they pretty much have to win 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there are 4 games left. Barring an absolute shutdown from the Birmingham Stallions, this is pretty much a win to keep it alive. Now, the Memphis Showboats literally have to win out every single game. So it's possible, unlikely. Obviously, they are playing against. They've already played against us twice, so they're not playing us twice. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about the numbers here. The numbers. Now, we talked a lot about parity and. Just speaking on about the whole UFL contender thing, on the other side of that, every team, ours is no exception, is one bad injury away from probably being back to like a mid-at-best team. If Bryce Perkins fails to elude one of these massive hits right here and goes down hard, concussion, obviously broken anything, God forbid IR or something like that. If Frank Genda over here on the defense, who's been at the top of this leaderboard here for defense every single week for a reason, if he goes down, Bryce Perkins goes down, we might be back to a mega mid team, and I really, I'd hate to see that. I'd absolutely hate to see that. I would also like to think that Mike Nolan would think to bring in a different quarterback, but because Danny Etling has showed it. I don't think that Bryce Perkins is just really good, and Danny Etling is an average quarterback. Let's just put it like that. I think half of that statement. How about that? Let's take a look at our running back room as of right now. Toa has taken over this room, but Mike Nolan has done a fantastic job of spreading this ball around. Oh, last week I was screaming about how I will seriously consider never betting on this team again if they allow Danny Etling to play. Well, Bryce Perkins got hit on a run. His helmet came off. He was totally fine, but helmet came off, so he had to come out. So Danny Etling came in for I believe two plays. One to just hand it right off, and the other one tried for something, didn't quite. It was just to give Bryce Perkins a little bit of time to breathe. That's it. I am not out on Mike Nolan. I'm not freaking out about that. If he'd stayed in, different story. And honestly, the fourth period, if we'd seen some more Danny Etling, because I watched like 3/4, and most of the last quarter I had to leave my hotel room. I've been flying around everywhere working and stuff like that. It's been honestly really good. I've just been busy as hell. So Danny Etling, I mean, if there was a time to get reps and stuff like that, this entire freaking season, it'd be like now. And I feel like we would have been in this situation if Bryce Perkins had been the starting quarterback, playing 95% of games regardless. Oh well. The song the same here for the running backs. 3 different players, bang bang, 2 running backs and a quarterback getting at least 9 attempts. Everybody an average of 5 yards or more. We'll call it 4.9, excuse me. Bryce Perkins, obviously, with a big breakaway right there. And touchdown between each of them. We're not really counting Danny Etling, of course, just on one attempt. So the song is kind of the same here. How do you defend against this, right? When you have two different running backs, you can do fantastic stuff. Toa Tau, who's been absolutely carrying the workload when it comes to this, but also, but finishing it out, right? They have the same average, excuse me. Far different amount of attempts, doubling up plus there for Toa Tau, and just along with the but the ratio, right? The ratio and the average of yardage right there, the exact same. Fantastic stuff. Now talk about the receiving room right here. It was the day for tight ends. Cole Hikatini, Gunnar Oaks getting 6 targets, which is 6 of 18, right? 6 of the 13 completed right here, right? Or 5 of the 13 completed, excuse me. Gunnar Oaks did drop one of those. But, long at 35, long at 34. That 35 was the touchdown right here as well. I'm not going to lie, DC did a decent job of shutting down Jalen Moore, did a decent job of shutting down the USC Mariner. Malik Turner got a lot of looks right here, only dropped one of them. 4 for 34, not bad whatsoever, and of course one of those was for that touchdown to the corner. That was a fantastic one. I have to do a shorter episode, otherwise we'd actually have this one up, and we'd definitely be watching that in the highlights. I have to do a shorter episode because I have to fly out at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so it is May 7th, Wednesday, May 7th. I got to fly out very early to go and work, folks, to go and work. That's enough. Let's talk about the other side right here and exactly how this offense went. Te'amo doing Te'amo things, right? 52%, 50%'s like pretty much been his standard rating of 142.8 versus 94.6. No interceptions in this game whatsoever. 2 touchdowns thrown by both players and a solid bit of amount of passing yards. Obviously, Te'amo attempting literally twice more than Bryce Perkins. And this completion obviously is significantly different right there. Fat shout out. Deion Jackson doing a pretty good job over here. Te'amo even running the rock a couple of times when needed to. Abram Smith just nowhere near what we thought this guy was. What this guy was last year, right? Or what this guy was going to be. He got injured last year. He was all the talk of the town about DC and how how they're just gonna run over everybody with Abram Smith, and they're still gonna get it done even without. Well,
were it so easy.
Can't just talk it into existence on that one, unfortunately. Chris Rowland doing a fantastic job. Double-digit targets. Only didn't connect with 3 of them. 9 for 144 is pretty damn good. Obviously, one of them was a long bomb. That was for the touchdown as well. Braylon Sanders is somebody who's been decently consistent, but when you're talking about consistency on DC, I want to talk about Javon Antonio. I believe his OU was like 28.5 or something like that. Targeted 6 times, though. 6 times. Targeted 8 times Braylon Sanders. These are fantastic performances blocking this up. And speaking of, bang, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these passes broken up. So what is that? 1/6 of the passes attempted here for Te'amo were specifically broken up. No interceptions though. No interceptions. Couple of close calls there. No actual interceptions. Anthony Hines, I feel like the top of these leaderboards make perfect sense, right? Anthony Hines is a dog on the other side. 7 total tackles, one tackle for loss. No sacks though, no sacks. They did get plenty of tackled for losses. Well, we also ran the ball 38 times, effectively twice more than they did, right? So that kind of makes sense. Taking a look on the other side, well, still 2 tackle for losses and a sack. We did not give up a sack. Offensive line doing exactly what they needed to. Forced fumble. Yeah, only 1 forced fumble, but they didn't recover it. We didn't force any fumbles, but honestly, our defense played well without putting up the fumbles, interceptions, pick sixes, fumble recovers, scoop and scores, all this other shit, right? We did a fantastic job outside of those specific stats and whatnot, and I was pretty darn happy with this. Again, I watched about more than 3 quarters, right? Because I watched most of the 4th quarter before I had to leave. Samson Nakua will be back next week. Donis Alexander getting up in there. Ken Lovely. There you go. DJ Miller, who had two interceptions. Here, Walter Palmore as well, but of course we will not be seeing Walter Palmore. Yes. Let's go on in here. No, not there. Bang, bang. Here we go. Let's talk about it a little bit because the injury report, the injury bug has hit us. Fortunately, we brought in a couple players. We'll talk about it. Walter Palmer on IR. Brutal stuff. I've been singing this man's praises a whole lot as a member of that defensive line. Levante Taylor, this cornerback, Tornadon also out, did not participate right here. I don't think Tornadon's actually. No, I don't think Tornadon's actually. Hang on. Is Bryce Tornado retriggered? Yeah, okay, got you. So not on IR. Thankfully, Bryce Tornado is not on IR. We didn't bring in some players, right? So Keonta, Harden, who's played with us before in the USFL as well as last year, played for Pittsburgh State, played in the CFL a little bit. Going to be coming on in here. He's familiar with the system. He's familiar with Mike Nolan, familiar with a bunch of these other corners. I like it, even if this is a plug-and-play type situation. We also lost, released our punter, Larea, but that's simply because Seth Vernon, who is nursing injury, will be back this week. Arlington, on the other side, a little bit of a different story, right? Let me finish this out. Mike Tafua, thank God, listed on here for the lefty. Thank God this is full because the defensive end position here is taking a couple hits, right? Tafua got the lone sack last week. Ron Stone got 3 tackles as well last week, two of them solo, but also DNP will have to monitor this one as well. Bryce Tornado has been confirmed that will not be playing this week. Gunnar Oaks, yeah. So it was the tight end show last week against DC. Expect to see another high throwing game from our opponent, right? We'll talk about exactly why, right? But we want those safety valves that I've always been talking about on this podcast and other times. Gunnar Oaks and Cole Hikutini are definitely those. Hopefully this left shoulder gets a little bit better. Now Jalen Mundamir is no spring chicken by any means. Fantastic player, but only having one of them out there is going to disrupt Mike Nolan's system like a little bit. You see 2 tight ends out there very frequently, obviously on running plays, but also to provide a couple more receivers on just the short dump off passes to try and get first downs and stuff like that. We really do not air this ball out very frequently, right? Anyway, so perhaps monitor this, but perhaps expect the Jalen Windermere show. Would love to see that. Now let's take a look at the Arlington Renegades. They may be fewer, but they are bigger. Kalen Balaj, I believe 3rd rushing in the league, out for the season, out for the entire season. I don't even believe it's on IR. Where is that? I don't believe it was on our out for the year. Yes, not even on IR. Big shout out James Larson, always providing a whole bunch of info. This is interesting too. I'll talk about that. Any hoodles. Kalen Balaj out. I could have sworn I saw that Day Hunter got banged up last week. Isaiah Winstead limited. I'm never gonna hope for anybody to be injured and not play or whatever else like that. But the effect that would have on us is not understated, right? Center right here, head injury. Again. Don't wish anything, and you know what I'm saying. There's other injuries that are much easier to nurse than something to the head. This could mean a lot of different things. Chris Claybooks should definitely play with a full participation on Tuesday. We not to talk too much about the gambling stuff, but we opened up as 1.5-point dogs here in this one. I think after some of the announcements and stuff like that, and I think the book's just kind of figuring out like, oh wait, hang on, this is the hottest team right now, the Michigan Panthers. This has gone all the way down to -2, so we are mild favorites in this squad. I'll be doing the gambling episode after that. We're not going to talk too much about it, but I'm just saying that's what the professionals, that's what Vegas thinks. Honestly, I love that. I really like that. I've already taken it. That's going to be about it here for today's episode. Let's go on over here. Bang. Want to give a shout out to the United Football Media, who I produce content with. We got Tell Me About It. We got the Defending Football Show. We got the Brahma Bullpens. Josh over there producing content for the Caballeros as well, of the Arena Football Squad. Not 100% sure how that league has been going. I'll ask him at some point. Defending Football Next Rundown. Obviously here, the Michigan Panthers Pod-cast. And, of course, the Captain's Log over there with the boy Webb. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will catch you on the flip side.